Hi, I'm Franco Luna Puma Podcast. You're listening to Teka Teka News, balitang thinking, hindi breaking. In this episode,
Pero maraming kalaban naman doon sa pagbagsak. Andun yung climate, andun yung smuggling, mga ganyan, maraming threat. Kami talagang magsisibuyas kami, sa kumita kami o sa malugi, sibuyas pa rin kami. Dala nung, parang sugal yan eh. Sige lang, pag tinamaan mo, yung nalugi mo ng 2 taon, kaya niya i-carry over.
the Teka Teka News team visited the onion capital of the Philippines to talk to the people whose lives revolve around this vegetable. I'm in the middle of an onion farm right now here in Bongabon, Nueva Ecija. To my right are sacks and sacks of white onions. Those were planted in November, and the farmers are hard at work packing them now to bring to the buyers and their trading centers. No? On the left naman is a whole field of red onions. Those were planted in January and haven't ripened up yet. No? By now, alam na natin lahat kung gaano nakataas ang presyo ng sibuyas. Sabi nga nila, pang sosyal na ang onions ngayon. Per the Department of Agriculture's monitoring, umabot na ng 420 to 600 pesos per kilogram ang presyo ng sibuyas sa Maynila. That's way above the suggested retail price of 250 pesos set by the Department of Trade and Industry. And in January, after weeks of public outcry, President Marcos approved the importation of 21,000 metric tons.
We were forced now again to import. I'll be very candid with you. Ang hirap malaman kasi depende kung sino ang kausap mo whether or not we need to import. May nagsasabi, onion, hindi kailangan mag-import. Paano naman hindi tayo kailangan mag-import? Tignan mo yung production ng Pilipinas, tignan mo yung demand, malayo talaga. Sinubukan natin na makuha lahat ng mga smuggled, pero kulang pa rin. Kasi hindi rin natin nagamit yung smuggled. So talaga, we are forced to import. So that's what they're doing.
I actually checked a few local supermarkets for the price of a kilo before leaving for our trip to Nueva Ecija in late February. Ayun, tig 500 pesos pa rin. Nakakaluha nga in more ways than one. Just to put that number into perspective, the global average is just $1.57 or around 86 pesos and 30 centavos.
Pagka dito po sila kumuha, mababa na po. Pagdating na po sa Maynila, kasi patong-patong na po yung ano nun kaya tumaas na po sa Maynila. Yung trackings po, kumbaga gano'n, kukunin nila dito ng halagang 50, yung trackings po, yung crudo, o kaya sasakiin pa po nila sa dadalhin doon sa Maynila. Kaya po mataas sa Maynila.
That's Roseanne San Mateo. She's a harvester we spoke to here in Bongabon. And she says there are too many middlemen between the farm and your dinner table. Roseanne was angry that the government imported onions right as harvest season began. Most of the onions being packed during our trip were planted in November, and they take 110 days until they're ripe for harvest. That means they knew harvest time would be around late February through to April. Luchi Senya, a farmer I spoke to, also questioned the timing of it all. She's a member of the Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura, or SINAG.
Paano kung mag-i-import sila, isasabay sa ano yan? Di babagsak kami. Wala na kaming choice Lalo yung magsasakang walang capacity on the access para sa cold storage. Pag wala ka access sa cold storage, no choice ka. O ikaw, una, kung mag-i-import, maging maayos lang yung mga data para makita yung sapat na kakulangan. At kung mag-i-import, yung buwan talaga na wala ng local supply. At huwag mag-i-import ng tulad ngayon na isinabay sa anihan. Na kung saan naging threat din sa amin yon.
When prices go down, Luchi says their only choice is to leave them in cold storage. But most farmers don't have access to cold storage facilities, which are controlled by the big traders.
So, iniintay niyo po talagang tumaas ng konti?
Pag nasa storage, konti. Pag kumita na, matutuwa na kami. Halimbawa, kung magkano lang, halimbawa, may 300 piso per bag, okay na yon. Kung marami ka, hindi naman pwedeng i-hold mo ng one time yun. Dahil, paano mo maibebenta ng one time yan? So, strategically, wini-withdraw namin unti-unti.
Farmers who testified at a Senate hearing last month even said that local harvest is enough to feed the entire Philippines, if only they had help. Here's Ramon Silverio, an onion farmer from San Jose, Occidental Mindoro.
Dapat po protektahan ng gobyerno kami doon sa San Jose Occidental Mindoro. Yun lang po ang hiningi namin. Huwag natin pag-usapan yung mga presyong 250, 300. Basta kami po ilaanan yun ng 100 pesos sa buwan ng March and April sa Occidental Mindoro. Lahat ng kailangan ng ating sibuyas sa buong Pilipinas, kaya po namin. Kasi kung ganun po ang gagawin parati ng National DA, na kami ay patayin sa tuwing aming pag-harvest, mawawalan po kami ng gana. Kaya, nag-iisip na ang Occidental Mindoro na magka-transfer na kami ng ibang variety, ng ibang commodity na i-produce.
Farmers here in Nueva Ecija said the same thing. There was no shortage at first, but now there could be because some traders would hold back supplies just so they can make a little profit.
So, kapag tumataas, magre-reklamo. Inaabangan nila SRP, which is man-made yung SRP ng mga channel na iba't ibang kamay. So, nakita nyo naman kanina, ilang kamay yung hahawak mula kay buyer papuntang Divisoria. Artificial hoarding means kayang i-hold ng mga big buyer, big trader sa kanilang facility, yung sibuyas. So, hindi nila ilalabas dahil alam nila yung sitwasyon sa lokal. Kukunti pala yung umaani.
We're pausing for a quick break now. When we return, we continue following the onion trail from Nueva Ecija to Divisoria.
Kami tinatamaan na bumibili ng volume dito sa Bungabong, sa mga farmers, tinutulungan namin. Pag dumating na bigla ang imported, sino nalulugi? Ako.
That's Edlinda Kabuhat. She's one of the biggest traders of onions here in Bungabon. We stopped by her assembly point and trading post to check their supply. Even traders, who often buy onions wholesale to sell to retail buyers in Metro Manila, are feeling the bite of importation too.
Kailangan talaga yung imported, wag masyadong magpapasok ng marami. Inihinto kami. Di kawawa naman ng farmers, di ba? Kami lang din ang inaasahan. Katulad niyan, 2 araw akong di bumunot, natatambak talaga sa bukid. Baka na po kung biglang umulan, masisira ang kalakal.
Here's Luchi Senya of Sinag again.
Payag naman kami mag-import noon, pero wala na supply. Yun lang sapat hanggang December. Comes January, may aani na kasi.
During our trip, we bought 1 kilo of onion at every stop. We started with 55 pesos directly from harvesters like Rosa and San Mateo. Then we bought from Erlinda Kabuhat's trading post for 80 pesos. On the way out of Bungabon, we bought another kilo for 100 pesos. And on it goes, each middleman adding their profit margin along the way. By the time they get to Divisoria, some 207 kilometers away, the onions were already hovering at 270 pesos a kilo. What we noticed is before the produce gets to the city, hindi naman masyadong malaki ang patong ng mga middlemen. Siguro tig 15-20 pesos lang. But once the trucking costs are added in, and again we're talking a distance of more than 200 kilometers, that's when the prices start shooting up. Mahal nga naman ang gas, something the war in Ukraine also exacerbated. We also didn't get to see the batches that were sent to cold storage. But for those, dagdag mo na rin cost of storage and electricity. Remember at one point onions cost around 600 a kilo at the big supermarkets? Importation aside, farmers also have to grapple with a host of other long-standing issues. Smuggling, climate change, and the high cost of raw materials.
Ang threat ng farmer, na related sa production, yung pag-ani, is that climate condition, pests and diseases. And we consider threat is the importation of illegal smuggling.
The ongoing war in Ukraine has really made a lot of things worse. For one, it's jacked up the price of fertilizers, most of which we import.
Ang cost of production ay rereklamuhan tayo ng magsasaka in terms of fertilizer, in terms of chemicals, fungicide, and everything. Oh, bakit ang ganda ng ano nyo? Nagre-reklamo pa kayo. Kasi nga, ang taas ng production cost namin. Tapos, pag dumating naman yung presyo ay baglang taas, magre-reklamo naman sa amin. So, ano ang magandang gawin?
Which is why it isn't all that surprising that some are giving up planting onions altogether. Here's Lucci again.
Actually, no last year, nasiraan kami. Nabulukan dahil sa, alam mo yan, climate condition, bagsak ang presyo, nalugi. Inatake ng peste, nalugi. Naulan, nalugi. Bagsak ang presyo lalo, nalugi. So, ang nangyari, nag-ship sila sa corn and other vegetables. So, ngayon, tumaas. So, ngayon, next year, i-expect nyo napakaraming sibuyas.
At the hearing in January, senators said there were even reports of farmers committing suicide after going bankrupt. Ang smuggling naman ay matagal ng problema na hanggang ngayon walang solusyon. Just recently, police seized 135 million pesos worth of smuggled onions and garlic, most of them from China, in separate warehouses in Manila and Malabon. Here's Agriculture Assistant Secretary Federico Lasista Jr. at a Senate hearing last year.
Actually, sir, yung problem po natin ng smuggling, decades na po. And for some time, so sa study, sir, namin, sir, lahat naman, sir, to technical smuggling. When you say technical smuggling, sir, lahat, sir, ito dumadaan sa all legal trade channel, sir. So, kung dumadaan siya sa legal trade channel, sir, dumadaan pa rin siya sa process, sir. Yung mga nahuli po natin, actually, are through process food. Meron po siyang importation, ang declaration po niya ay sa processed food, pastry, bread, chapati. Pero ang laman, sir, onions.
And that was today's episode of Taka Taka News. Again, I'm Franco Luna. This episode was edited by Pidoy Blanco. If you like this episode, share it with a friend or two. And of course, don't forget to follow Taka Taka News and Puma Podcast on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Thanks for listening.